Again, Noel, we talked to you here about 12 months ago, or almost 12 months ago, and Eddie, we haven't spoken to you before.
No, I'm more the sort of quiet reserve type.
Quiet reserve type, put the glasses back on.
Okay.
Noel, you must be pretty happy with your role back in the percussion area, because you took, when I saw your show, you took a much larger part of percussion than you ever had before.
Yeah, well, certainly having drummed for a couple of years, it's directed me in a new sort of way towards percussion. And I'm sort of much more into just hitting things now than all the sort of other bits and pieces. But, you know, I can feel it sort of moving back again a bit. It's just because that's where I was sort of at when the change occurred. So, you know, I'm using sticks. But there's so many percussion instruments, really. It is a huge sort of area and a lot of interesting sounds that hopefully I'll be able to incorporate again.
Did you ever see Ray Cooper with the Elton John tour, that two-man?
Oh no, not just the two of them together, but he was one of the first sort of rock percussionists that I ever saw, and I thought he stole the show. That was Yellow Brick Road sort of era, and certainly as a personality on stage he was very sort of vibrant, but what he played as well was great. It was quite an inspiration, really.
Eddie, are you guys all quite happy with Conflicting Emotions and the way it's moved sales-wise and critical acclaim?
Yeah, it's done very well critically. It's done reasonably well sales-wise, but it had a bit of a false start really, because the first single, which was Straight Old Line, didn't do as well as we anticipated. And that was actually before during the pre-Christmas period as well. So we had a lot of competition there. But since then we've released Message to My Girl, which is doing very well, and so it should sort of kick the album in the bum a bit.
Any thoughts on the new single, the next one? Will you go for 3?
The next one?
Possibly, yeah.
We're thinking of a live single. There's possibility of releasing one off the album as well, but I mean instead of a live one, but we're not 100% about what we're going to do yet.
Well, Neil had 6 out of 10 songs on Conflicting Emotions. Is that due to Tim's output last year with Escapade, mainly?
Yeah,
or was that a consensus opinion to get Neil to solely write so many for the first time?
Well, no, because he had also had a year to write virtually, you know, so he did have a huge selection, and obviously that means that the number of strong songs that come through out of, you know, that many more songs is going to be greater than Tim's contribution. I think that's, you know, pretty well it. And Tim was quite happy, having just spent, you know, a lot of time and energy on his album, to just contribute what he could.
He's losing it a bit, I think, Tim. I think he's
all the signs are there, aren't they?
He's on the way out. Yeah, he's getting old. He's like you know, he's in his mid-30s now. I think he's had it.
How close to mid-30s, to be exact?
Oh, early mid-30s.
On that point, we'll have a look at one of Neil's tracks. Let's have a look at Straight Old Line. Here's a song from Conflicting Emotions. From Split Ends this morning, you guys on your Kia Kaha tour, have you been pleased with the reaction from the audiences to the new material, because it concentrates largely on the newer songs? Do people seem to want more of the old stuff, or are they getting right on the new album? Oh
yeah, there's always a demand for the hits in that, but really our tours are always based on the most recent album, and that's the priority in terms of the set. And we just play whatever else we can bear to play, you know. I mean, you know, we've played some songs thousands of times probably. And
it gets that way, obviously, doesn't it? And, but everybody wants them again, don't they?
We've been playing My Mistake since 1977.
Have you both been with the band since the inception?
Virtually, yeah.
Was there a little bit of changes in the early days, weren't there, prior to Mental Notes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the very early band was very sort of, you know, formative stages, was changed quite regularly. Tim's the only one that, you know, from the early band, but we probably came into it about 9 or 10 months or a year after they started or something.
We both joined together really about 1973 it was, so this is our 11th year.
That's a good run, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The one reason I could ask that question to be valid is that you couldn't recognise any of you in the earlier forms of the Ends either, with the makeup and that almost mohawk sort of hairstyle.
Yeah.
When it wasn't a mohawk, but it was something totally original. You took that to England, didn't you, that style?
We always felt our roots were in England. We were sort of heading there via Australia, you know, which is the first logical step for most Kiwis. And we just struck it at a weird time. You know, there's no way we could have known. But 77 turned out to be a fairly sort of hectic year with the whole punk thing and that. And so, yeah, we were always considered a part of what was going on, and equally so when that happened, because our music, although the image and the extremity of the sort of look was quite in keeping with what was happening, and in fact I think probably inspired quite a few people, the music was miles away. It was nothing like the sort of music that they were playing, so we still were completely sort of removed from it.
But just to wrap up, guys, what are you doing in the near future recording-wise? Working with Hugh Padgham again?
We're going to be we're going back down to Melbourne in a couple of weeks, and we're going to do a period of writing, probably for 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, I suppose, and then I think we'll be going in the studio again. June, May, late May, June, and we haven't got a producer. We'd like to get a proper producer this time. Hugh Padgham was great. He co-produced the last album and the one and Time and Tide as well. And but I think his forte was more like on the engineering side of things, and we'd like to get a producer next time to help us with arrangements, not just the sound of the album, but with
Any
the
ideas?
arrangements of songs. Well, there's so many people who are good at that, but unfortunately it's a fact of life that you have to book them months or even sometimes years ahead.
And pay lots of money too.
Well, that's all right. We can do that, but it's just availability. We don't want to be hanging around like we were last year for months and months waiting for a producer, which was part of the reason why we hung around for so long last year. And so I think this time we'll just go into the studio anyway, and with a producer or without.
The desire to write as a band is there. It's just a matter of that some intangible thing happening, and then hopefully we'll get something out of it. But
Well, thanks for your time, Noel. Thanks, Eddie, for coming in this morning.
Thank you.
And lots of luck with the rest of the tour, next album, and the future.